What are the 6 essential pillars to midlife health and happiness? In this episode, we're going to reveal 6 elements you need to get dialed in and provide 3 practical tips for each.
This is how our clients get phenomenal physical, mental and emotional results that last. So you really don't want to miss this incredibly informative information.
Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. James is way more energised today. He's like a bouncy Tigger and I'm sitting here thinking, he can do most of this podcast.
Oh, Claire, I mean, you only had about 10 to 11 hours sleep last night and then you got up for the sunrise and went back to bed again for an hour.
Right, do you want to tell everyone how lazy I am?
Sloth.
I am a sloth. This is what happens sometimes when you work too hard in the week with exercise and you feel a bit exhausted by Sunday. But no, I think I'm shaking something off. But James is like Tigger today, so aren't you?
I've got a lot of energy because it is Sunday. The sun is shining.
Here in Marbella, it's actually glorious. We're going to go for paella, aren't we?
We are. Can't wait. Now, as some of you may know, we've been featuring a lot of other podcasts at the moment. And that's kind of what inspired this. We're getting asked a lot about, what our methodology is and how we came up with it. And we actually thought, we actually haven't sat and explained that on a podcast.
I don't think we have. We just had a beautiful butterfly. If I looked alarmed then, through our terrace doors, there was a beautiful red admiral that just came in. That's really good luck, isn't it?
If you say so.
You're being very nice to me today, which is hilarious because we're actually doing a workshop next Wednesday, the 10th, at 8 p.m. UK time on relationship secrets, so midlife relationship secrets. How not to be, we're not going to be discussing how mean James is to me sometimes. No, we're really excited to do that. We get asked, talking about how many podcasts we've been on recently, we always get asked pretty much what are our secrets to working together, being together, putting up with each other. And so we actually thought, we're going to put a workshop together where we can have a bit of a Q&A at the end, but some of the secrets that we've nailed that help our relationship thrive.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I mean, loads of people signed up already.
We've got loads of people. It's so nice.
If you are interested, go to our main website, themidlifementors.com. You'll see a tab on there saying free midlife relationship workshop. Just go sign up. Tell your friends, tell everyone. The more, the merrier.
Because it is a time that a lot of people are struggling. There's so many pressures and, sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees. Emotions are running high. You don't necessarily know why things are happening, can't work it out. So that's what we're there for next Wednesday, is just to help you unpick it a little bit.
Yeah, and that does nicely tie in to our programme, because we do cover communication and relationships within the Midlife Method.
We do.
But we thought it really useful to talk through the 6 pillars, which we got to basically by a combination of research. If you listen to us regularly, you know that we're real research geeks. We're always like checking research in the fields of physical fitness, of nutrition, in psychology. So we're looking at what would work for people, and then of course trialing it on ourselves and with our clients till we got the winning formula that gets such fantastic results mentally, physically, and emotionally for people now.
Well, the first iteration of the Midlife Method was way back early 2019. When we started doing this podcast, and we trialled that, tweaked it a little bit. So yeah, James is right. We came up with these 6 pillars from really going out there and coaching people one-to-one, having feedback, and really working out what bits worked and what bits didn't. So that's what the 6 pillars are. I'm gonna give you what they are now.
Yeah, we're also going to give you 3
tips,
put into action takeaway tips for each pillar as well, so you can start actually working on this right now.
So can
I just say one thing first? Before you dash on there, a popular misconception about our program is it is about diet and exercise and about the physical results. I mean, yes, of course, we're getting you to move more. We are coaching you for sensible nutrition while still enjoying the things you enjoy in life and getting results. And it does get amazing physical results, but it's so much more than that. My background is like 2 degrees in psychology, qualifications in coaching, hypnosis, NLP, gut health, hormones. Claire's background
is some of those, NLP, gut health, hormones, stress management consultant, business coach. So that is why the mindset stuff is so thrilling, really, because it's that stuff that really makes a difference. It makes it stick. So everything we teach people to do, like the nutrition, the exercise, it makes it stick because we're really looking at the mindset that goes behind it and underpins it all.
Maybe you should train as a sleep coach because you spend so much time asleep.
He's so mean to me. So I'm going to really tell you what's happened here. So for about 2 months, I don't like to moan. I don't like to whinge.
Oh, really?
Oh, Tigger, go back. Can you not go back to
My
bed?
ears bleed on a daily basis.
Is this the stuff you're going to bring up in the relationship workshop?
Probably not.
No, so I don't like to talk about it very much, but I haven't actually slept properly. It's part of the perimenopausal symptoms. I haven't slept.
I don't like to talk about it. Well, I mean, it's very debilitating. We take it very seriously. But while Claire was going through this, every morning, like, oh, you won't believe the bad night's sleep I've had.
Okay, so one of the things is a bit of compassion in the workshop that we're going to do
I love it.
next Wednesday. Is some compassion for what women are going through during the perimenopause. So mine has been, so you can see James has got loads of that compassion, that lovely quality called compassion. James has it in oodles. I haven't slept for about 2.5 months. We even got like a little sleep pebble thing that went under my pillow. We tried,
which was pretty awesome, actually.
It was good, but I tried everything. But now I'm here in Marbella, not central London, and my sleep seems to be so much better. So I'm going to be nice to myself. I'm going to give myself lots of self-care, and I'm going to sleep a lot, like I would tell any client to. So I'm loving my sleep, and I'm getting plenty of it now.
Good. Well, we digress there. Let's get back to those 6 pillars. And the 3 tips around each pillar.
Sleep isn't one of them,
no.
but it kind of goes into
yeah.
It actually, your sleep will be helped by all of this stuff, especially when we talk about hormones, the hormones that happen at midlife. So number 1 is nutrition.
Yeah, so obviously what we eat is going to have a massive impact on both our body shape, body composition, and our health.
Our mood.
One thing we're not about is like restrictive diets or prescriptive diet plans or any of that. We don't give our clients meal plans. We actually coach them through a process for how to understand the basics of nutrition, what kind of foods they should be eating more of, what to avoid.
What fits into your lifestyle as it is right now. Because what you don't want to be doing is cooking. What we always have people say, oh, do I have to cook about 1 million different meals at night? Yeah. Absolutely not.
Educating on portion sizes, because that's frequently where people go wrong. And basically just getting people straight. So they're like, oh, this is a food that I can create quickly. It's tasty, it's healthy, it satisfies me. I'd eat it over and over again. I know I can still enjoy my occasional splurge of food, drink if I want to. And know that, I can just adjust my eating before and afterwards and some of the other elements as well. And I can still carry on getting my results, which is what we all want.
Yeah, and also how it interplays with your hormones and how you're feeling. So nutrition, gut health and nutrition is a key component to that body composition piece, absolutely, but how you feel. So a lot of the time when we're going to talk about hormones, when we're going through midlife, our hormones are fluctuating all over the place. But one way that we can help them is through nutrition.
Yeah, so often when I'm talking to prospective clients about midlife methods, I say that one way to understand it is actually an 8-week nutrition coaching course, because the way it's set up, we drip feed this information through so you're not overwhelmed, and it does totally transform people's understanding of food and drink. So obviously we can't cover 8 weeks of content here, so we give you 3 big tips. I mean, if you can like start implementing these 3 tips straight away, you'll start to see an almost immediate impact. Give your body 1 or 2 weeks to see the changes, but they will make a big impact.
Yeah, when I did my menopause free course, free workshop about 2 or 3 weeks ago, it feels like weeks ago since we've been here, but I gave 6 lifestyle modifications to help women with their menopausal symptoms, and I was on a workshop actually for a corporate. I did that, and one of the ladies piped up and said, oh, if I could just take one of those, which one would it be? And it would be, drum roll, one we're going to give you here now is sugar. So watching your sugar intake and watching for hidden sugars, because it massively impacts your body composition, how you feel, your energy and your mood, and also can potentially lead to really serious illness.
Yeah, so most of us obviously understand that sugar isn't great for us, that it's very calorific, it's high in energy. But what I might not be so aware of is like it's also very addictive. So once we have a little bit, we want to keep eating more of it, which means that we tend to overeat with it. It also impacts our other hormone levels negatively. It will make us more insulin resistant, meaning we're less good at transforming food to energy generally, and it leads to inflammation within the body. So, I mean, a whole host of reasons. And the scary thing is there is more and more sugar creeping into our foods all the time. So one tip we give clients is like always go and read the label. You're looking for that carbohydrate of which sugars. And you want to look for stuff that is, below 20 grams of sugar per, or 21 grams of sugar per 100 grams. So less than 20% sugar.
Well, that's really high sugar. I always say to people about anything under 10 grams per 100 grams of sugar is a low sugar product. So please, the lower the better. So it does really, we're already becoming more insulin resistant. We'll talk about that in hormones. We're already becoming more insulin resistant at midlife. So if you're piling in sugar, and yes, we mean alcohol as well, and we mean high GI carbs, which we'll talk about in a second. But, if you're already becoming insulin resistant anyway and you're piling more sugar into your body, sugar is literally just going to store as fat right round your midsection.
Linking nicely to that, second thing to do is avoid processed foods, and particularly ultra processed foods. So that's stuff that doesn't really resemble natural food anyway. It's gone through so many processes. It's got a lot of chemical additives, so on and so on. And in fact, just on that, a lot of so-called healthy food alternatives, because this morning we've seen the chairman of Sainsbury's is basically saying that they're working closer with their supply chain because he's concerned about the high amounts of sugar, salts and fats in vegan foods that are coming through to them now. So a lot of these meat substitutes aren't actually that great for you. But in general, if it comes in a pack and it's got a long list of ingredients, including lots of chemicals, you want to avoid it. Because again, it confuses our natural hormonal response. There's loads of research that shows people who eat ultra-processed foods, even if they eat calorie for calorie the same amount, do put on more weight. But they tend to overeat anyway because that hormonal response is kind of overridden. So they just carry on eating even though they don't need to. From
field or seed to your table in as few steps as possible. Just try and keep it as clean as possible. We're not saying don't go out and have a splurge like James said, but try and keep your diet as clean as possible. And finally, number 3 is front load your carbohydrates. So someone said, what does that mean? So front load your carbs. So we use energy. We are not anti-carbs. We need them for brain function, for energy, for muscle repair, so many good things. But we need to make sure that we're eating the right kind of carbohydrate. So slow releasing carbs. But eat them for your breakfast and for your lunch. One of the main game changers for so many of our midlifers is don't eat them after 4 o'clock in the evening. So we're talking about, white bread, white pasta, potatoes, all those sorts of things. So you do need them for energy, but even just cutting them out, cutting that real stodge out in the evening, because again, at the end of the day, carbohydrates are sugars. So if you're not using that up in the evening and you're just lying in bed without having used up those carbohydrates, that unused energy will eventually be stored as fat, especially around the belly area.
Which leads us really nicely to the second pillar of exercise, and the first tip of that, which is fasted high-intensity interval training. Now, if you don't know what high-intensity interval training is, it's basically a short burst of anything from 15 to 30 minutes maximum, where you work really hard for a burst, rest, work hard for a burst, rest, work hard for a burst, rest. It's super, super effective at building your cardiovascular fitness, spiking your metabolism due to the oxygen debt effect. We basically can't get enough oxygen in while we're working at that intensity, so the body speeds up your metabolism for 24 to 48 hours trying to compensate for that. And if you do it fasted, right? Remember what Claire just said about carbs at night. So if we imagine if you
haven't had carbs,
you've taken on less energy at night, so your energy depleted in the morning anyway. Basically, your body stores food energy as glucose, glycogen, and body fat in that order. Because you've had a light meal with light carbs, your glucogen and glycose will be low, And when you train at intensity, you'll burn through those reserves, which means then you have to switch to fat as an energy source.
It's also GlycanAge, a company that we've had on one of our podcasts. Go back and listen to that because it's really, really fascinating. The interval training effect is the one thing they've really found across the board. So interval training was actually the one thing that really across the board brought people's biological age down. So not their chronological age, obviously, but their biological age. That actually makes you younger. Love that.
So fasted HIIT, big game changer for us, for our clients. You know, we do it regularly.
Yeah.
People always ask how often you need to do it. I'd say 2 to 3 times a week, 4 to 5 is going to put a bigger strain on your central nervous system, we're going to talk about cortisol and stress in a minute. So that's that. Of course, we all know exercise is good for us. And here's the thing: if you're struggling with your weight and your body image, here's 2 things: just moving more anyway. Even if you're not ready for HIIT, getting up, going for walks, just moving more means you're expending more calories. Which means if you're looking after your calories in and not increasing and eating too much of the wrong things, you will naturally start to lose body fat. But of course, the other side of the equation is energy out. So what you want to do is start to add your muscle mass as well.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to say though, before that, you know, we have a lot of people that might be, you know, they're in their late 50s, their 60s, some even into their 70s, and they don't necessarily want to do HIIT straight away. So we do start them off just doing some gentle mobility stuff and then working up to gentle HIITs, but it's benchmarked at whatever stage you're at. So people think HIIT it's just for really fit people. It's absolutely not at all. So resistance training, this is amazing. So as we age, our muscle mass decreases, which actually means that our metabolic rate decreases because muscle is more metabolically active than fat. So we want to preserve the muscle mass, not just to prevent injury and you know, to be strong as we age, which will obviously help with the quality of our life moving forward. But we want to keep that metabolic rate firing, right? So we want as much muscle mass as we can.
Exactly that. So we need to resistance train at least twice a week. Why twice a week? Because you want to hit each muscle or muscle group twice a week so you stimulate growth. Like once a week, it's probably something's better than nothing. I always say it's probably going to keep you where you are. But twice a week is going to get you great results.
And, you know, it makes you feel, this is what we love. People just say, I feel strong. I feel connected to my body. So exercise and resistance, you know, exercise, which is obviously cardio we were talking about there, but just exercise in general with resistance training as well. When people say, I'm so connected to my body now, it's like a form of self-care. It really is. It's the ultimate way of looking after yourself. And also the internal organs, your heart health. You are just... The quality of your life through doing this will improve in a way that you can't even imagine. But when people say, I just feel so good, I feel so energized, I feel so strong, my body shape is changing, it doesn't matter what age you're at, your body shape will change when you do resistance training.
That's what I put in this. A lot of clients we speak to, and even when they're going through a program at the beginning, are very hung up on just like losing body fat and also on their weight and losing weight. It's a really important thing to note here. If you think about what your body goals are, probably to lose fat, but think about how you look when you are more toned, when you are carrying more lean muscle. It changes your body shape. It gives you way more confidence. And here's the thing, like we shouldn't be looking at scales because muscle is denser than fat, like by a number of factors. So when we put on that lean muscle, you know, we can actually, our weight can stay the same, but our body fat's dropping, our muscle's increasing, and we start to look better and better. The other important thing to do, especially at midlife, is factor in adequate recovery. We cannot be smashing our body day after day after day after day. People get this so wrong, you know. They're doing this thing of like going to the gym, getting onto the treadmill or the dreaded elliptical cross trainer for like 60 minutes every day, and you know it's dull and it's not going to get you results. You know what we coach people in our program is like, you know, the HIIT is like 15 to 20 minutes, and then that resistance training, we split it around their lifestyle. So people are doing like sometimes 4 sessions a week, but those sessions can be like 30, 35 minutes.
And where people go wrong is they just don't know how to hit muscle groups for the right, you know, in the right way to get enough adequate rest. Because at rest is when you start getting the results. So your muscle actually grows during that rest period, and also. Yeah, like James said, because you're not necessarily getting the results because you haven't got these other bits dialed in, you're just going hammering on the treadmill, pounding the pavement and wondering why this isn't working. And actually, we're going to talk about this in the next pillar, which is hormones, but it can spike cortisol, your stress hormone. You can overload the central nervous system so much that it completely negates what you're trying to do.
So yeah, hormones obviously one of our key pillars, because at midlife we're facing this like whole tidal wave of changing hormones.
We're going to touch on this in the workshop that we do next Wednesday,
Yeah.
because people aren't aware of this, what's going on for the male or female.
No,
so it's about bringing communication and awareness to it.
I mean, Claire's done many workshops on the female menopause. I've done workshops on the andropause or male menopause. We won't dive into all the changes here. But essentially, for both males and females, to simplify it, levels of our sex hormones are declining. So for females, it's their estrogen, progesterone are falling down. For men, it's
falling
down.
Declining. They're falling down.
Literally falling down. And for men, it's their testosterone. Women also have declining testosterone, and of course, that completely ceases post-menopause as well. The net effect of all of those together is, for men and women, decreased energy, increased brain fog, increased anxiety,
lower libido,
decreasing muscle mass, decreasing strength, increased insulin resistance, weight gain,
higher anxiety,
gain.
higher rates of depression, because especially for women, it's the one thing that I'm really, really key on. I'm just going to add this here because I want you to be able to hear this. The reason you are feeling a low mood is because serotonin, which is created, 90% of it is created in the gut. When your estrogen drops, estrogen is a creator and transporter for serotonin. So when your estrogen drops, it makes sense that your serotonin is going to drop. But there are ways to boost this. We've just mentioned them: nutrition and exercise. So a whole cocktail of hormones that we're going to touch on again on Wednesday night.
Yeah, so a tip for this with your sex hormones, like obviously we can't change our hormones, it's a natural process, but we can support and negate some of the effects.
Exactly.
So with sex hormones, the best thing you can do actually is start exercising at intensity, because there's a lot of research showing that actually pushes up levels of your human growth hormone, your testosterone. You get temporary bumps up, so you'll gradually slow the rate of decline.
And look after your nutrition and also all these things. So this is why we've got this in the midlife method, because all these things, the other things we're going to talk about, the other pillars, are going to massively help with the symptoms you are experiencing through the menopause and the andropause.
Yeah. So the other hormone there, insulin.
Insulin, we talked about that a little bit with sugar. But, like we said, our insulin resistance, so our insulin sensitivity is decreasing, so we're becoming more insulin resistant. So we're not actually able to process the sugars in our blood system as effectively. So that's why we talked about sugar. If you're piling on the sugar in your diet, it's going to make everything even worse. So you've got type 2 diabetes. There's been links to high insulin to cancer. All sorts of diseases are linked to high insulin in the
Yeah, so that links back to the moderate your sugar intake. Then we have, of course, stress, and the stress hormone cortisol.
Sorry, that butterfly just came in again. So
you and your butterflies.
I was halfway through flow, and I was like, that butterfly.
I saw a vacant look come over your face.
There was a vacant pause then, wasn't there? It was a butterfly. It's all about nature.
Cortisol. So cortisol gets a bad rap. Now, here's the thing you need to understand about it. It is meant to be present with us. It's our get up and go hormone. So it's meant to spike. Yeah, have it. Maybe you're cortisol deficient. No, you're right. We've had you tested.
I've been tested.
It's meant to spike in the morning. It's going to fire everything up and then decline through the day. But in today's stress society, what happens is there's a background buzz of stress. The cortisol remains elevated. For many people, even increasing through the day. And when cortisol remains high consistently over time, it's linked to fat gain, especially around the abdominal area, hips, thighs. It's linked to anxiety. It's linked to depression. It's linked to insulin resistance. So cortisol, we want to get a handle on that. And the best tip for that is learn to control your stress levels. Learn that you actually are in charge of a reaction to situations and choose your reaction. I know that's all often easier said than done. Take a deep breath and go, do I choose to let this stress me, or do I choose to just release it and let my cortisol go down? Yeah,
I mean, there's so many stress techniques within our midlife method program, so many, because I'm going to be dramatic. It's the silent killer. Like, stress is so overlooked. And the impact that it has on our physical and mental health is so overlooked. And most of people, we're just so used to this constant hum of stress. And some of us use it as a badge of honour. I've got this message to do, I'm so stressed. How many times do you hear, I'm so stressed, I'm running around, I'm so busy, I'm so important, I'm so of value.
I hear it from you all the time.
He's really on one today. So actually just making sure that some of the other stuff that we're going to talk to you about here, like the success mindset, the emotional well-being and the accountability and support, is really, really key part to managing your stress levels, for sure. Don't wait, I would say, for stress to get so bad that it starts manifesting in your body.
either physically or mentally. Just really, really learn the impact that stress and that cortisol is having on your body. That's what we do with clients.
Yeah.
Awareness.
So, stress awareness. And of course, if you invest in the next two pillars, success mindset and emotional well-being, you will start to decrease your stress level. So let's deal with success mindset. This is such a vital part of our program because, like, so you know, our
80%
backgrounds,
mindset.
Yeah, 80% mindset, 20% mechanics. If you want to be really blunt about it, you know, losing body fat from a mechanical perspective is really easy, right? You just move more and eat less. It really is, that simple. What makes it hard are the psychological processes, our embedded habits, our limiting beliefs, all this stuff. So this is why we spend time working on those things with our clients to help them actually move to the place where their self-identity changes to someone that can actually achieve the results they're looking for.
So one of the top ones is right at the beginning of the program, we always get people to focus on why. So what's your goal, but why do you want it? And it's like peeling an onion, a layer of an onion each time. Why? Why do you want it? Why do you want it? And some of them, the more emotional they can become, the better. So I want to see my children grow up. A close family member has recently passed away with cancer. They were overweight, they had diabetes. These are your strong whys. I don't want to get to retirement age and then to fall apart. These are the things that will drive you forward when the going gets tough, because it will, because life is tough. It's the things that will keep you going, the things that we keep reminding our clients to go back to. It's the stuff that we have to remind ourselves to keep going back to when things get tough. Your why is your anchor.
And having that strong emotional connection is what is going to get you up and get you going when you don't feel like it. Remind yourself why you want it.
And the next one is taking risks.
I love this one.
This is so interesting. What we've witnessed so much is as we age, when we're younger, we say we play to win, right? So we're like, this is a winning streak. What do I want? We're all fired up, we're energized. We play to win.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. And then when we get to midlife, we play not to lose. So the reverse happens. We don't want to lose the stuff that we've built around us, that we believe has created this personality structure, this security. We're terrified of losing anything. So therefore, we stay inert. And we just stay in our comfort zone and we are afraid to take risks. But the truth is, as human beings, we are designed to expand and grow. And when we don't, we become bored. We become sedentary. Our life is supposed to be an adventure. And if yours isn't, I would urge you to look at the small things that you can start doing in your life that will bring that element of excitement and adventure and awe.
Definitely. It's such a big one.
It's such a big one. We're not saying go out there and take...
No, don't do crazy things. You take calculated risks. But some people stuck. They're like,
I can't do that because of this.
I've wanted to do this for ages, but they still haven't because they're afraid to take the first step. If you've got something you want to do and you evaluated it, this is something that I really go into in depth on my Man's Rise program, by the way, like the whole risk taking thing and how to evaluate and then convince yourself to go for it. It's like, make sure you evaluate the opportunity cost. We often forget that. What is the cost of me staying stuck? It's like, if this thing you really want to do, you'd started it a year ago, where would you be now?
And every time you take a risk, you get more confidence in yourself and you trust yourself more. Some of them might work out, some of them don't, but you always will be okay. We've taken
like failure is just a learning.
We've taken some crazy risks. We've taken one to come here again, haven't we?
We have.
And the other one is habits.
Again, there was so much we could have put into this. We can't distill 8 weeks into a short podcast, but habits is a big one, obviously.
So looking at those habits of behaviour and habits of thought. So looking at limiting beliefs, like what's the habit of thought behind everything? What's your triggers? Habits we've done a whole one on habits, but habits is fascinating. Like even just becoming aware right now of what your triggers, what your habits are, what your triggers are, and how you might start going about changing them that benefit you.
Exactly that. So identify what your trigger is. What's the behaviour you've got and what's the reward you get from it. Identify what the trigger is, and then start to install a new behaviour.
Yeah.
So if it's opening the cupboard, seeing the hobnobs, one thing you can do is
I'd love a hobnob now.
Oh, would you? Remove the trigger, hide the hobnobs, but that often doesn't work. It's not practical. So the next thing you do is just that moment of awareness. Go, okay, I won't have a hobnob. I'm going to put the kettle on and choose a nice herbal tea for myself. And actually just the act of resisting getting that pause, lots of research shows that can help you overcome that habitual just go for it.
Like a 5-second pause.
And then the new reward is enjoying the new tea. I mean, it could be anything, but obviously you want to replace a not so helpful habit with a more helpful one that's aligned with your goal.
And a lot of habits are built, well, all habits are built behind a belief system. So working out what the trigger is, what the response is, and then what the belief is behind that, and working out how you can reprogram with new beliefs that actually help you make better choices. So the next pillar is emotional well-being, which is very, very different to success mindset. Emotional well-being is the soulful stuff of what we do, the spiritual stuff. We are mind, body, and soul. This is a holistic program. So we're trying to help you understand yourself better, get a better connection to your higher self.
Connecting back to yourself.
Your
so many
higher
of us
self.
lose that.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the first step of that is giving yourself permission to prioritise yourself. You know, if you're trying to operate from a glass half empty, you're not going to show up as the best version of yourself for anyone at all. So this is what I say, people don't really realise this. If you can't give to yourself, you can't give the best of yourself to anyone else. You're full of resentment, you're full of anxiety, you're full of anger, or whatever emotion it is, you are not feeling at your best. But when you are, the whole world kind of starts to unfold before you in the most magical ways. When you give yourself permission to prioritise yourself and your health, and you inspire others to do the same. You also inspire your children, you inspire your partner. Everything gets better when you give yourself permission.
We're giving you permission right now.
Yeah, exactly.
You have our permission.
Relationships.
Yeah, so we spend a lot of time on relationships and communication. And here's the thing, like, it's all too easy if you're in a relationship, you know, it becomes familiar. And we start to look at what, you know, the external factors. So you're always looking at the other person going, oh, you know, that thing's really annoying me. That behaviour is really annoying me. Actually, you know, try and take a step back from that. How are you showing up? How are you showing up? And are the things that are annoying you actually a mirror for what you're doing? And it's things you do that annoy you, and that's why the other person doing it. So much people can lose the connection with each other, or just create a distance between them,
or
by
take the
not
mick
being
out of
open.
them for sleeping too much.
So it's all about, you know, actually being vulnerable and being prepared to look at your own behaviour.
It starts with you.
Start showing up better. And I always say, like, just think to myself sometimes, like, how do I want to show up today?
I mean, I'm not saying it starts with you, as in it starts with you looking at self-care, giving yourself permission, but it really does start with what you can control. And it might be, you know, relationships and communication. We're going to go into that next Wednesday. It might be that things aren't right and they will never be right, and it's not going to move forward. But we don't want people to get there unnecessarily to that stage. So that's what next Wednesday is going to reveal, is what's really, really going on, and how you are able to... This emotional well-being pillar is all about... It should be called Know Thyself. Know thyself and what your patterns are. From that place, you can make informed choices.
And be prepared to do the work. I mean, one common thing we often is like, you know, someone will say, oh, my husband does this and it really annoys the hell out of me. How can I get him to change? It's like, no.
No, I just have to go around shutting all the doors. Turning the lights off. What's
going on for you in that situation, and what part of you do you need to work on?
Well, I don't need to shut doors. No, I'm joking. I'm jesting. And the other one is creating morning routine.
This is so powerful.
This has got so many pillars in it. We can't even go into that. But creating a really powerful morning routine sets you up for the day. That's what we're going to go into, really, I think, on that one, because there are so many pillars to that pillar. But yeah, it's the way you start your day sets the tone for the day. It's
I knew you were going to say that.
It's like we know each other really well, isn't it? So that's a really exciting one for the emotional well-being pillar. And the final pillar is accountability and support.
This one's massive as well. But they're all massive. That's why they are pillars, right? The pillars support the roof of success.
You become the people that you surround yourself with.
What's the thing? They say you're
energy vampire.
Sum total of the closest 7 people.
I thought it was 6, but 6 or 7. And you, honestly, energy vampires, these people that do not want you to succeed, that they don't... If you are trying to move forward in your life and get something that you've not got before, and there are people reminding you of who you were, how you can't do it, what's going to go wrong, I really suggest you start creating more connections with people that do believe in you, and lessen those, if you can, the relationships that aren't serving you. Because a lot of the time people don't want you to change. We've done a whole podcast on this, when they don't want you to change. But They want to keep you safe in the boundaries of the world that they envisioned you in, because they are somehow resentful that they're not going for their dreams. So make sure that you are surrounding yourself with positive people.
And these days, it's easier than ever. You can go online, you can Google, whatever your goal is. You can Google interest groups for that goal that are local to you. You can do face-to-face. You can find them online, Facebook groups, etc. We've got our own great one, the Midlife Mentors community, for people like you listening. So do join that if you haven't already.
We've got something really sweet going on in there at the moment. I decided last night we're doing a 30-day gratitude challenge, which, by the way, is one of the morning routines. But if you want to join us on that, it's started only today. It's a morning gratitude routine, and we're just...
What was your gratitude? To go back to bed?
Oh my goodness! I put a lid on it, James.
You're going to have this all day.
I know. I'm gonna bury you in the sand. I'm gonna put a sandcastle over you. No, so if you do want to join that, that's something really interactive and positive and lovely that we're doing, and everyone's putting underneath the post that I did every day you get prompted to do what the gratitude is, and it's really lovely. Loads of people are joining in. It's really beautiful.
Really lovely.
Communicate your goals with people.
Yes, there's loads of research on this. When we actually speak our goals out loud and tell someone else, it makes us feel more invested in achieving that goal, because we don't want to lose face to the other person.
And the last one is have a coach or mentor. I can't tell you how many times I say this in a day to people, but I have a coach and mentor that isn't James. He's laughing. I knew he was going to say that. You are not my coach and mentor. No, you are. You're my inspiration, but you're not my coach.
You're my inspiration.
I have a coach and mentor that helps me see things in a different perspective, helps guide me, shine the light. Sometimes when I'm feeling a bit blue and I just need a little bit of a touch point with her, she's there to help me, and she is absolutely amazing. And I can't tell you the times when I haven't had that in my life, and I think, I don't need it now, and then I'll go bimbling along, and then I need it again, and we all go through stages and seasons where we need that. But I think getting a coach and mentor just accelerates your success, because they've got a blueprint. They might just be a little bit step ahead, but they've got a blueprint that works, that gets results. So, if you're trying to do it yourself, that's what we always say. How's that worked out for you right now? How many times have you said, I really want to do this? And you get going and then you fall off the wagon. It's because you haven't got that accountability and support. It's a key part of success.
Yeah. So those are 6 pillars. There are 3 tips from each of the pillars. I really hope
we've loved doing that.
Useful. I love doing that. It's great to talk through. Yeah.
Recap for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. Now, as Claire mentioned, we are doing that Secrets of a Thriving Midlife Relationship Workshop this coming Wednesday, November the 10th at 8 p.m. UK time. If you go to themidlifementors.com, you'll see a sign-up link for it. We'd love to have you on there.
I'll put a link in the show notes.
If you'd like to know more about everything we've just talked through, the 6 pillars, then obviously, themidlifementors.com. You could sign up for the course there, or you can even book a call with us.
Yeah.
We can have a chat with you.
Yeah.
Find out a bit more about you.
We're not scary. We're really nice. We're not scary.
We're not pressured.
No, God, no. Not pressured at all. I hate all of that stuff. So if you just want to have a chat with us about what you're looking for, what some of your challenges are, make sure you go.
Yeah, we'd love to speak to you.
Of course we would.
Now, I just want to do a shout out because it's very exciting. We've got a new review. We don't normally do this, but I'm going to do it. We've got a new review.
Yes.
Apologies if I get the name wrong because it's funny. It's Drobber and then 3 3s Ant, Drobber Ant. Someone in the US of A, so thank you very much for saying, as a midlifer, I find this podcast so engaging and dynamic. They back up their message with experience and research, which appeals to me. They make me laugh and they make me think. Oh, thank you. Well, that's lovely. If you're listening to this and you haven't given us a review and rating yet, please do.
And we'll shout, they really mean a lot to us. I think sometimes there's an assumption that when you're at a certain level, that we don't read we literally read everything we get. We respond to every email we get. And these light us up. These reviews really are just so beautiful. We're on about 93 5-star ratings now. So if you can get us to... There's a challenge. Please, if you haven't given us a review, we would love to get
it's not a review, it's a rating.
Sorry, a rating.
So a rating is really easy, Tim. You just got to press the 5 stars on your podcast player and it will give us a rating. So press the 5 stars, we'll get the rating. Review, you actually have to go in and write some stuff. That'd be amazing if you did that as well.
Okay,
but
so don't listen to me, listen to James. There we are.
jumps in there with a technicality that could have got me in a right pickle. Anyway, sending you so much love. We hope to see you on the workshop on Wednesday. Lots of little nuggets of information. James and I sharing some of our story as well, which has been interesting. So we'll be sharing that, and I'll put the link in the show notes, and we're sending you an enormous amount of love as always.
As always.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
You've been listening to the Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under the Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.